We're live at Pace Studios in New York City. I'm Becca Babaraji, and I'm here with comedian extraordinaire Jim Jefferies.
Hello.
Yay!
Thank you, everyone.
Yes. How's it going?
I'm all right.
Yeah?
I'm all right. I've been in New York for maybe 5 hours. We got on the red eye, came in. I'm a bit tired, but you've given me an oversized Red Bull.
I did.
I just want for the people looking at camera, this is a bigger Red Bull. I'm just not really tiny, holding a regular size Red Bull. This is not proportional to my body.
It's not.
That's why I like sitting next to you, because you're so small and I look large. So if you hold this, that looks like a regular Red Bull on her, doesn't it? It looks like a normal size Red Bull. Yeah, it's all about perspective.
Yeah. I just want to congratulate you on your new show.
Thank you. We haven't filmed it yet. It's quite bizarre that we're doing press for a show that we haven't actually filmed yet, but we're optimistic. The scripts are good. The pilot turned out great. So we'll see how it's going to turn out. But I think we've got something really good on our hands.
Cool. So the show's going to be premiering on Comedy Central on June 6th. At 10:30. It's called
10:30, yeah.
It's called the Jim Jefferies Show.
We took minutes to come up with that name. Like we went through the Jim Show, Jefferies Show. We came up with the Jim Jefferies Show. It's a good name.
I think so.
Look. The weird thing is, I'm a creator of the show. Mm-hmm. I should have named it something else, like the Daily Show or something like that, so that when I'm fired, I could still be the creator when they replace me, but now they can't even replace me. The show, I always have to be on it now.
Wow. You can't even quit if you wanted to.
I can't. Well, I can quit, but the show won't carry on without me. That's the problem.
Sounds good.
Or we could have the Jim Jefferies Show and we bring in Bill Maher to take over, or whoever we got, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll take over the Bill Maher show. He'll take over my show.
Just be a whole mindfuck.
Yeah.
So you're going up against shows like The Daily Show and John Oliver. I'm really curious to know.
Well, I'm not going up against those shows. They're on different nights, but yeah.
Well, I mean, the format of it is similar.
Sure, of course.
So I'm really curious to know what your style of comedy is going to offer this kind of format, and what people can expect.
Well, I think all these different shows, John Oliver and Samantha Bee and all this type of stuff, it's no one ever says, did you watch Today, Tonight, Yesterday, on Wednesday, or whatever the name of his show is, or Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, and everyone just goes, did you watch Samantha Bee, did you watch John Oliver? The Daily Show's a different thing because Jon Stewart was before and now it's Trevor. But I feel like the big difference is going to be me. That's the big difference, and my style of comedy, and I think I have a fairly unique take on the world. And a lot of people have been asking me, like, what are you going to do differently, or why would you be doing a show that there's already shows like this out there? It's just very exciting to have a platform. If everyone in the world had this opportunity that I'm having right now, where you just get to give your opinions and see, just throw it out there, just like bare your soul and just see if people like it or if people hate it. The public will decide. But I'm gonna be doing a think piece more than a news piece as such. The other ones are more news based. We're gonna be doing a think piece where I'll be giving my opinions. Also, it's going to be more international than the other shows. We're doing field pieces. We've already recorded field pieces in Holland. We're going to be recording one in China. We just came back from Slovenia. We're going to be chatting to the ambassador of Azerbaijan, a country that no one really... Azerbaijan. We're going to talk to that guy. And we're doing different things. We're taking on topics like we just wrote a piece the other day on the death penalty. So that's not really news as such. That's more of a think piece on the death penalty. So yeah.
And you're hoping with sharing your opinions with the world that it's gonna change the world or just make people think.
No, I'm not here to change the world. I'm here to talk to it. You know what I mean? Like I think for a second that I'm going to say anything so profound that the world's going to have a different view or something like that. But if I can be lucky enough to start conversations, that would be a really great thing. Who gets to say they get to do that?
Yeah, you're a lucky guy. Congrats on that.
That's what I've come to tell everyone, how lucky I am.
I know. That's the point of the Jim Jefferies Show.
Yeah.
So you started out you're still a stand-up comedian. You still do stand-up whenever you want to
Yeah.
and are available.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to know about how it started, how it all came together, what made you want to do stand-up comedy.
My first stand-up gig, I was 17 years old. I did 3 spots when I was 17. And that was in Sydney. And the first spot went just so unbelievably good that I thought, oh, I'm a natural at this. I'll be able to do this for the rest of my life. And so I didn't tell my parents, and the comedy club told me that if I was to come back to the club, I had to bring someone over 18 with me, like a guardian person.
Okay, yeah.
And so I told my dad, I said, Dad, I've done this. I went out to this club, I performed, and I said, Dad, I'm really good at this, and if you come down, I need an adult with me. And so I took my dad down, and then I died on my ass, maybe one of the worst deaths in comedy history, where they were heckling me. I didn't handle the heckles. I almost had tears in my eyes while I was on stage. And then I got back in the car with my dad, and my dad just sort of went, oh, you're good at a lot of things, and you can enjoy comedy, but I don't know if performing it's the thing for you, right?
Wow.
And so I was so down in the dumps, and I spoke to a couple of my friends, and they said, will give it one more go. And I went and gave one more go, and that didn't go very well. It wasn't as bad as the night before. And so then I just didn't do it again until I was 23. I just didn't get up on stage again until I was 23. And then by that stage, I was in college starting performing arts, and I'd done a few musicals and plays at college, and I was getting good laughs.
Yeah.
And I thought, all right, I'm getting laughs again. I am funny again. And I went and did it again, and then I think after that, I never stopped doing comedy again. I was always doing a gig at least once a week,
Wow, that's amazing.
So I tell people I've been doing it for 17 years, but I've really been doing it for 17 years and 3 days that were spaced out.
Yeah. Wow. And the night that your dad saw, I just have to emphasize that I feel like most parents will say that to you, be like, you're good at a lot of things.
Well, you want to be protective of your children. My dad saw me have a horrible experience. It probably broke his heart to watch me do so badly. I know as a father myself that if I saw my son fail at something so badly, I would try to protect him.
Yeah.
But now my dad's my biggest fan. He comes along to all my shows and whenever I'm in Sydney. And my mother, she's not allowed to come and watch me.
I understand that.
She tries to. Well, I tell dirty jokes. I tell stories about my sex. I tell stories about any drug use I've ever had or anything like that. I'm very open about my life on stage. And my mother still sees the specials. You can't stop her from watching those. But I don't want to be in the same room as it happens. And she's a very intimidating, present human being. Like if she's in the audience, she's there. She's got a walking frame. She's about 250 pounds.
Got it.
She's in the space. So I don't like that. But she sometimes comes and sits backstage during the gigs, and then tries to sneak in the back. But I've got people guarding the doors to stop her from coming in. I've got literally like 15 staff trying not to let her in the theatre, yeah.
So funny. Did she give you notes on your specials when she sees them?
She doesn't give me many notes, but what she does do is whenever I'm performing, she always requests like 15 tickets to every gig I do in Sydney. And it's always like, the doctor who did my x-rays is a big fan of yours. And I'm like, and how did that come up? Mum, how did that come up? And she goes, he mentioned you. I go, oh, is that what happened? You were in the doctor's office and he just started talking about comedy and you said, oh, by accident that you're my mother, and then you got tickets.
But only after he mentioned you.
Yeah. And I've changed my name, so my mother has a different second name and everything, so there's no chance that it could have come up by accident, like you have the same name. No, she's just lying.
Yeah, she's like, this is the weirdest thing that happened.
Yeah, but she sees that as a currency she can give people.
Yeah. But I'm sure she's so happy and proud of you.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I guess. Like she's proud of me as a person, I think. I don't know if my comedy is something she's proud of. I think I think, like all parents, they enjoy when your child becomes famous. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice talking point at dinner parties and stuff.
I guess so. Can you
I'll tell you one story. My mother was sharing a hospital bed next to another woman, and they were in two hospital beds for about a week, and in Australia. And then after a while, they started talking about their children, and then one of them goes, "Oh, my son's a comedian." And then the other one goes, "Oh, my son is also a comedian." And then they started chatting back and forth. And then my son tells jokes about this, my son tells jokes about that. And it turns out the other mother was Tim Mitchen's mother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so Tim Mitchen's arguably more successful than me. He wrote the music and lyrics to Matilda and Groundhog Day and all type of stuff. And he's a class act, that guy. And I'm just a guy who says cunt a lot. So that was an awkward... That was an awkward hospital stay for my mother.
Aw, but it happened.
Yeah, it did
It's a
happen.
good story. I like that story.
Thanks.
Who are your when you were starting out? Who were your comedy influences? Who did you want to imitate?
Well,
Because it starts like
the
that
people
sometimes.
who I was really influenced by to begin with were local Australian guys that you would have never heard of. That were the people that I was like, oh, that guy's great. You know, you got to remember that. In the late 90s and the early 2000s in Australia, you know, I'd never seen Saturday Night Live because things were, for the most part, not even filmed on digital like this room here. Things were still in canisters of film, so we didn't see any topical news shows or anything like that. Also, HBO specials, they never came out to Australia. You know, the first comedy special that I saw that was international was Eddie Murphy's Delirious, and that was on Betamax. And so that was what I thought American comedy was. There was no YouTube where I could look up and find out about different comics. So all I'd seen was like the two Eddie Murphy specials. And then someone gave me a Dice Clay cassette.
Okay.
And then I saw, I used to be a Richard Pryor fan, but only of his movies.
Yeah.
From a kid. I used to like watching Stir Crazy and Brewster's Millions and that sort of stuff. So I liked Richard Pryor, but I didn't know he was a stand-up comedian. I only thought that he was, you know, a funny actor. And so by the time I wanted to be a stand-up comedian, I started getting bootleg copies of different things to watch, you know. So I did get really into Richard Pryor. Like Richard Pryor live in concert was like a big influence on me, that particular thing. And it wasn't until I was been doing comedy for about 3 or 4 years and I moved to England that I started watching George Carlin, which is the person who I probably try to emulate more than any other comic. And that wasn't something that was known to me through my teenage years. George Carlin, to me, before that, was Rufus from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And that's what I thought was his whole body of work. Yeah. And what he should most be known for.
Yeah.
The time-traveling guy from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
So funny. Where did because you're not afraid to talk about controversial topics at all, which is amazing. When you first started doing comedy, where did that come from? How did that develop over time? Was it...
Well, I think, it started off as, like, controversy for me was doing really filthy, dirty jokes in front of people, you know, and Eddie Murphy talks about, like, when he started doing comedy when he was, like, 16, and he wanted to be dirty, but the only dirty thing that he was doing at that age was taking shits. So he was like, so he did a lot of jokes about poo, you know what I mean? Because you talk about what you know, right?
Yeah.
And so for me to begin with, this is a weird thing. Every comedian should think that they're the best comedian in the world. That's what you should think, right? Because you're writing jokes that are just engineered for you. And if you're writing jokes for any other reason, that's wrong. You should be writing the show that you would want to watch. And so the show that I wanted to watch was dirty jokes and that type of stuff, right? And so I was writing jokes that if I was in the audience, this would be the exact show I'd want to watch, right? And also I was writing things that made me laugh, right? Now the hope is that when you're performing and writing things that make you laugh, you hope that people agree with you. So the big plan is that you're like everyone else, I guess, you know. So over time, when I got more interested in politics, I started doing jokes about politics because that's what I was interested in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If I was mad about sports, I'd probably be doing jokes about sports, but I'm not that crazy about sports, you know.
Yeah.
So it wasn't by design. It wasn't like I never sat down. I think there are comics who do this, who sit down and they think to themselves, what do people find funny? It was always, what do I find funny? So it was never by design that I started talking about edgy, what so-called edgy taboo subjects. It was just I was always turned on by the other people who did it, so I tried to do it too.
Got it. Wow, that's really inspiring.
How's that inspiring?
It's inspiring because I think it's hard for young comedians or just performers in general to be honest with themselves of who they are and put that out into the world. Because it's easy, I think, to look out and say, that's successful, I'm going to be like that.
Well, I'm just happy that the things that affect me are things that affect most people, you know. So but I always talked about like depression, and people always go, "It's very brave of you to talk about depression," and it's like, well, at stages in my life I was going through it for so long that why wouldn't I talk about it? You know, and also I believe that I'm not, you know, time plus tragedy or tragedy plus time or what. I do believe that comedy has to come from a sad space. I don't think there's anything funny about a good day. You know, there's nothing funny about. I just had a great date. I met a girl I really liked. I had a wonderful meal and saw a show and. There's nothing funny about that.
Yeah.
But there's something funny about being fired and then you left your keys in your office that you can't get back into and now you can't get into your house and now you're going to have to climb up a drain pipe to get through a window and you might kill yourself and something's happening there.
Yes.
And no sitcoms are about a good day that people are having.
It's true.
You know, like Curb Your Enthusiasm is just a guy, every single episode's one of his miserable days.
Yeah.
And so that's the, you know, there's this theory on comedy that you're either a person who's been championed in your life or a person who's been downtrodden in your life. And I believe I was someone who was downtrodden, whether that was through design or just my own self-hate. But whenever you meet comics, they're always somebody whose parents always told them they could be anything, blah, 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 and they were the most popular kid at school, and that's what gave them the confidence. Or it's the kid who was bullied who's like, well, you can all get fucked, and I'm going to prove you wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. It's driven by anger.
Yeah. Anger and resentment makes for good laughs.
Yeah, it's hysterical.
Yeah. And also people like to watch on stage somebody who's having a bad day because they can relate to bad days. Because the problem we have at the moment in society is we're looking at social media where everyone is just giving us their best day.
Yeah.
Everyone is just showing us that my marriage is good and my kids are healthy and this is good and my work is great and here I am on holiday. When wouldn't you get more enjoyment if we all just fucking just showed like, here, I've got a hemorrhoid. I got a hemorrhoid and my girlfriend left me and this is me crying and I'm eating a tub of ice cream by myself, you know.
Yeah. Well, some people do express all of their
and those people are annoying as well. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, those people are annoying as well. If they start doing motivational speeches like it's good to be better, have we gotten more like good quotes than Instagram is just flooding us now with like inspiring quotes. And I used to have like 2 or 3 in my back pocket that I could think of to make myself happy. And now it's like, if he doesn't love you for you, then you be you for, you know what I mean? And these waffly things.
You just look up hashtag quote of the day. Yeah. And then you can find a quote.
Yeah, we used to have like a peel-off calendar where you went, I got a new quote today. And some of them applied, and life's pretty simple.
Yes,
you know, these things overcomplicate things. You know, you have good days, you have bad days, you're happy, you're sad. You know, try not to be a cunt. That's the only rule. That's the only rule. Just try not to be a cunt, and you do that every day. You'll be a good person. Yeah. Don't hurt other people. Try to be nice to others. But also, you don't have to fucking overdo it either. Just keep to yourself.
Yeah.
If there's any young comics watching who want a big tip, because people always go, how do you get started? All those things you should be able to figure out yourself, how to get started. You go down to a comedy club and you have a go, and then you have another go, and you have another go. The biggest tip I could give anyone is, you chase the dream, not the competition. If you tie yourself up worrying about what everyone else is doing and not what you're doing, then you're going to have problems, because it'll drive you mad, because you're never going to be the king of the entire world, right? So you don't think that like Sacha Baron Cohen is thinking, oh, man, Will Ferrell got another movie. But these people, you know what I mean? So even at my stage, I'm doing very well. I'm playing theatres and stuff like that, but there's still other comics doing better than me. I haven't got to host Saturday Night Live or anything like that. So this brings us full circle back to the beginning of this conversation. It's like, so all these other people who've got TV shows, and how do you feel like you're going to fit in with these other shows that are similar to what you're doing? And be honest with you, I don't give a fuck.
That's great.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it to the best of my ability, and I'm going to hope that people watch it. And I don't think for a second that those people aren't good at their jobs either. But there's space enough. Look, if people like me doing stand-up, they'll probably like me doing TV.
Yeah.
And they'll probably like me doing acting, or they'll probably, everything except for sports and music or whatever, you know what I mean? They'll probably like me performing, doing everything. And then there's the people who hated my stand-up. They're probably going to hate this show. There's a good chance if they hate my stand-up, you probably shouldn't watch this show. It's not going to work out for you there either.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a moment where you're going to tip over and go, he's all right.
Yeah, you changed my mind.
So it's such a what's the word for comedy when you, personal thing, what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah.
And so you can't be too concerned with, I'm sure the network has things like, a focus group thinks you should talk more about this, or, they have all those type of things going on. For me personally, I just hope that I'm writing a show that entertains me, and hopefully that'll entertain other people. And I'm going to put my all into it, because you don't get many shots like this in life. So, and if it doesn't work out, that's the only thing you can do, is just hope that if you gave it your best shot, and this sounds very cliche, if you gave it your best shot, it's all you can do. As long as at the end of the day I don't feel like I let myself down, I'm going to be happy with it.
Well, I don't think you're going to be letting anybody down.
Wow, my mum, we've already mentioned this earlier on. She's not going to like the show. She's already let down.
But she tells her doctor about it.
As long as I get a Red Bull endorsement.
Yeah. Well,
I think we're going to be fine as long as we get a Red Bull endorsement.
Yes.
I actually have it in my office. I've got someone put in a little Red Bull fridge that was packed with Red Bull. So I don't know, maybe I've got a thing going on.
I think so. Well, we're so happy for you and your show, the Jim Jefferies Show. That is.
Is this are we done? We done? You only asked one question. you had a whole list of questions here.
I did.
And you
It looks longer.
You asked one question, but you write your questions in full.
Yeah.
Who does that? I've done a lot of shows. Most people have like a bullet form and they think, I'll be able to remember what the word means.
I couldn't remember, and I'm going to be true to myself, Jim.
You used to be an opera singer in school.
I'm taking this away from you and sitting on it.
Well, you've got a whole pad here.
This is a part of my other job.
All right, so who are we interviewing tomorrow?
I just wrote other notes on your show.
Oh, yeah.
I needed
Seems
them
like a
on
very
separate...
personal diary you've got there.
It is my diary. It's my note diary.
It is a poem called "In My Mind I Am Tall."
In my... you know what? I need to tell you that I do not I don't know how small I am. I am 4'10", for everyone on the internet. I am legally a midget. I could get money from the government for my height. I don't, because I'm not an asshole. But
I'm seeing a girl who's 5 foot.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like little people.
Whoa.
I feel like it's because she's too close to them. Like she's like, there, but for the grace of God go I. And so she resents them. No, she doesn't like little people. She never admitted it. I won't say her name, but she's probably watching, and you know you don't.
She like actually does not like little people.
She doesn't like. It's not like a bigoted thing where she thinks they should be put in concentration camps or anything with little tiny walls.
Yes, that's fine.
But she doesn't. She feels uncomfortable around little people. It's like I imagine like really tall people would feel weird about giants because it's like, what are you trying to prove? Why are you up there? I'm already tall.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you're legally too short to be a...
I'm not a person, is what I'm saying.
Okay, so you can get disability?
I think I could. I've never looked into it, but I've read on the internet.
And like what would be your disability? Is the disability called short?
I think so. This is what I've heard. I used to lie because I used to be an actor. So
are
I used
you
to
allowed
lie
to
in my
drive
resume.
a regular car?
I don't drive. I'm a little scared of that.
If you're allowed to, like, if you went to buy a bike, would it be like a regular bike?
So I don't ride a bike either.
Yeah, but can you?
I have not. I cannot ride a bike.
Have you given it a go, or you just never reached the pedals, or they make you special pedals?
I need training wheels.
You need training wheels? You never
Well,
had
my
a bike?
balance is pretty fucked up.
What other things have you lost from your height? Like where you feel like you're let
Just
down
like
in the world?
my dating options.
Why?
Well, there are a lot taller, attractive men.
Yeah, but that doesn't bother me. No one cares that women are short. You haven't got the plight of the tall woman. The tall woman is like will only date men taller than her because
Really?
women don't like to feel taller than men. Like not all the
I
time.
would love to be taller.
When I meet like a 6 foot tall woman, I'm like, put on your fucking heels, tower over me. I don't give a shit. Own it.
Show me who's boss.
No, it's not like that. That got a bit weird.
Yeah.
But you, every guy's always talk like this. Might sound complete, but it's, men can pick you up and.
Well, that's not the best
Men
thing.
love that.
Men love that. I don't love that.
You don't like being picked
I
up?
don't. I feel like I'm like the perfect kidnapper's dream. You know?
Yeah, but is that what you worry? You're fearful? I thought short chicks love
I'm pretty sure
being.
I could be kidnapped easily.
Short men don't like being picked up. I know that much.
I
They don't like being picked up. They don't like a big 6 foot tall woman picking them up and going, "I'd like to date you."
imagine it's like, you're so cute.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like that either. I can't tell you how many times I'm picked up by people and they think it's okay.
I have a midget friend. And it's a midget, not a dwarf, but I did drunkenly pick him up. And I apologized so much the next day. I remember going, I hear your people don't enjoy that.
Your people?
Yeah, he's Asian.
Oh, okay.
So that was the reason why I said your people. It wasn't about his height.
Okay, cool.
And he's not even a dwarf. He's just Asian. They're a small people.
I do get that. Yeah. Everyone thinks I'm Southeast Asian, but I'm not.
I thought you were like Hawaiian or something.
I am not. My boyfriend is Hawaiian.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
Shout out Hawaii.
that doesn't mean that you start to look Hawaiian.
No, it doesn't. I am not. I just look like how I am.
But what is it?
I am Ecuadorian, Puerto Rican, Italian.
Well, that's something.
That is something. That is something.
That's something, yeah. That's a thing. That's a thing. I did one of those Ancestry.com things, and it turns out that, like, I'm the whitest human being that's ever lived.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like
55%
55% British, like 35% Irish, and then a little bit of Scandinavian. But as an Australian, I don't give a fuck where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Americans have this thing where they always have to mention, well, my ancestry is A, B, C, and D, which is a very odd American thing. You're always going, oh, I'm part German, or I'm part white, or I'm a Chinese American, or I'm African American, I'm an Italian American. It's a very American thing. And then you all go, this is the greatest country in the world. I'm proud to be American, but I'm from here. Right? Which is a very weird thing. Why don't you just say you're American? I don't know.
I think I'm always very specific about my heritage because my mother was born in Ecuador. My grandparents were born in Ecuador, so I was raised with the pride of being from
Okay,
that
so
country.
where in America are you from?
New York.
Okay, so that's good. See, you just said New York because no one ever says New York, New York. That's the only town that people don't say that. But every other town in America, people have to stipulate the name of their city, then their state.
Like Brooklyn. No.
No, they go. You go, where are you from? They go, Miami, Florida.
Oh my God.
And you're like, yeah, we all know where Miami is. We get it. You know what I mean? Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah.
They have to do the two bits, like name their special state.
Yeah.
Americans, you're an annoying bunch.
I know. I
You're all
apologize.
right. Thank you for the TV show, America.
Yeah.
I promise not to let you down. I'll be a citizen any day now.
Well, we look forward to that.
Yeah. I can never be president, but I assume I'll be governor. Feels like something I'll do.
I'd vote for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Do it.
You voted for Arnold, became a governor, and he was smoking weed and
Yeah.
he did steroids.
He did.
That means he had to lie.
He did.
That means he had to lie to become a citizen because you have to answer the drug question. And he went, nah, never done it. And then he still became governor. So, are lies bad? Answer me.
Say that again.
Are lies a bad thing?
Our lies? I don't know. Maybe.
Little tiny lies, if it gets,
It depends. It depends on the lie.
Give me an example of a good lie.
A good lie?
Yeah. I've written some questions down. I'll tell you. Okay.
This is my bubble, and this is
yours.
your...
Oh, wow. That got really weird all of a sudden. I was about to pick you up and throw you.
Oh, God.
No.
I would have loved that. I don't know. I don't have an example of a good lie.
All right, what's a bad lie?
I did not cheat on you.
I did not cheat on you. Yeah, but like then you leave the room and you can finish it, like you can make that an honest thing. Like, I did not cheat on you, and then you leave, and then you go, today. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you're not lying. It's all about the spacing of words.
Okay, so this is what I learned today. It is all about the spacing of words. Thank you so much for being with us today, Jim.
Thank you for having me.
Yay! And look and watch the Jim Jefferies Show on June 6th on Comedy Central at 10:30 p.m.
Bye, everyone.